It is, what is it? It's October 26th. Yeah, October 26th. Okay, so I've been getting boxes and boxes and boxes of crap in. Amazing how inexpensive this stuff is. I mean, I'm amazed at some of the stuff that I can find. Some things are a little disappointing is the wrong word. It's upsetting. Okay, here's the original Radiator, and it is disgusting and coming to pieces. You can see that. And I'm like, oh well, you know, I don't want to replace it. Why don't I just get it recored? Recoring one of these things is like $600. Whereas $600. Whereas I got this brand new, made in England, handmade in England Radiator for $100. It's silly. I mean, I don't want to encourage waste, but what am I supposed to do? I mean, there you go. $100. $100. So that's pretty cool. Here, this is a big box. That's my new gas tank. Rear exhaust has come in. I have a lot of the little parts, rebuild kits for the carbs, all the tubes here, all this stuff, all the oil crap. I'm gonna relocate. The jackass went and took the batteries out from underneath the back seat where they're supposed to go and relocated one up here. I'm gonna put it back under the back seat, and I'm also gonna put in a trickle charger, permanent trickle charger, so it can be plugged in from the outside and always be ready to go. I've got to repair all this stuff, but my first step is gonna be, well, I got a lot of steps. In here, I want to strip off all the peripherals, all the extra stuff that I don't want. And I'm gonna clean the whole bay, make it all good to go. I'm waiting for some other stuff to happen. I've got to, sorry, this is such a mess. I was moving things around, piling stuff up. Let me put this over here. Put this over here. I've got to replace the entire floor of the boot, the trunk. Look at this. That's the gas tank, the old gas tank, and I can smell it leaking gas fumes through pinholes. I've drained the gas. There's nothing left in it, but I'm gonna have to go in and replace this thing, this seam that you see right here. I've started drilling out, just did a couple test drills here of the spot welds, and it comes out fine. British Motor Heritage makes new ones of these that are supposedly exact, so I just need to cut this out. The big challenge is going to be welding in the new one. That's going to be interesting because I don't have a spot welder. Dad had all of this stuff. Dad had every tool you could imagine, and after he died, the garage was just full of all this stuff. And I said, well, I'm never going to own a British car. That's not going to happen. And so my sister took it all for her 2 kids to play with. And as far as I know, all the stuff is in a landfill. All of his tools and all that stuff, everything I wasn't able to save. I mean, maybe it's sitting in her barn or something, but it's going to stay there. I'll start fresh. Yeah, but look at that. Look at this whole thing. Because this car sat for 36 years, right? Underneath a cover, but the cover didn't stop the thing from leaking. And this is the underneath of the bed. This is the underside of the trunk lid, and this seal was leaking and actually ate through here. So this I'm gonna have to figure out how to deal with. Moss Motors has, or British Heritage has, complete replacement things, but they're like $900, which is, you know, actually more than the car. So I'm gonna fix this when we get to that point. But the water entered here and just season after season after season just pooled in here. It's amazing. Anyway, so drill out all the welds and replace that, and it'll look much nicer. Yeah, I laugh. That's the gas tank right there. I don't have much of an option, and I can't get the gas tank unbolted. Can't get the gas tank unbolted. Everything is seized and what are you doing out here? And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drill out all the pop rivets, and then I'm going to drop the floor with the old gas tank all at the same time, and just take them down to the metal recyclers all at the same time. Okay, well, I got cracking inside the house. There, I got a light on so you can really see the rust. That's what happens when you leave a car. Thank God, I mean, that it was as dry as it was where this thing was down in Colorado Springs. I mean, it's almost desert around here, but man, if you leave something in the woods for 36 years, you're gonna have some rust. That's okay. This whole thing will go away and it'll be fresh and clean. But like the metal up above those spot welds, it's perfect. It's fine. Gonna have to redo everything. The car was obviously worn. Lots of other things. I'm just kind of assessing right now. There's the strap for travel limiting strap for the rear suspension. There's the splined hubs festooned with greasy, rusty stuff. Here's the rear leaf springs. I don't know what that thing is, but it's there on both sides. I think it's supposed to be there. You can see what's left of the gas tank. I was looking at this. I was going to try to pull the sender. That's the sender for the gas tank to go to the fuel gauge. And I was looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Screw the whole thing. The parts are, relatively speaking, they're so cheap. I just ordered a new one. I'm going to drop this whole thing, this entire tank, and just scrap the whole goddamn thing. All the bushings. That's the rear rear shock. I'm gonna have to pull that out and rebuild those. And see, all the bushings are just cracked and gross. So, but the thing is, complete bushing kits for this car are not only available. Again, they're cheap. I mean, they're like $20 or $30. It's crazy. You can buy every single goddamn part for this car. Every single one. Look at the rust. I mean, the splines are fine, but yikes. Well, but I mean, the rest of it's fine. You know? Lord knows I've seen worse. Oh, we saw, by the way, we were driving around today because it's Saturday. And that means errands, and we were driving around. I saw somebody's beautiful white MGB-GT they were driving around, and it was in fantastic condition. It just looked awesome. Real source of inspiration. Okay, well, that's that. Here's the lower pipe that goes from the water pump over to the radiator feeds. I don't think that's been taken off since it was put on in Abingdon. Could be wrong. There's the lower hose. Doesn't look as bad as the upper one, but it doesn't look great. Oh, since I'm here, let's do a wrist check. I'm wearing a really old Seiko Kinetic. It doesn't matter what I do to it because it's already beat up. But it keeps great time, and it's one of these ones where when it runs out of power and you start to shake it again, it remembers where it was and it goes back. Anyway. This one doesn't look nearly as bad as the upper one. It doesn't have all that internal cracking that the other one had. This looks pretty okay. And this seeing as this is the lower pipe, this actually, in my mind, bodes fairly well for the water jacket, at least I hope. Also, the ancient radiator was tight. I mean, it took forever for everything to drain out because everything's probably plugged, but it wasn't leaking anything out of there. Okay, got the fan pulley alternator out. You can see what nice collection of spider webs. So there's really just no alternative, as far as I can tell, to just taking stuff apart and cleaning it. If I hadn't taken off the alternator, it would be, oh dear. God, look at that engine mount. Yikes. Well, I guess I'm buying engine mounts. Wow, holy shit. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Engine mounts. Okay. Inside of the water jacket, there was some surface rust, but gosh, I've seen worse. Starting to clean off some of the surfaces here. I'll probably pull the wheel here and the lower pulley there and And actually look at the timing chain, seeing as I'm in this far. I don't know I'll do it now, but I will do it. I mean, I'm going so far, I'm going to replace engine mounts. Might as well do that. Yikes. I can clean all that stuff up and make it look nice again. I think that's a good idea. Pulled that jury-rigged battery holder out of the front, interestingly, is made by Schwinn. U.S. patent number, there it is. I don't know what possible bicycle part this was, but took off this thing. But anyway, there it is. Getting cleaner. So now this, once I get this all clean, the ignition coil is actually supposed to go right there where those two holes are. So I've got to relocate that back over there. Okay, well, front of the engine is off, which you saw. Pulled the carbs. I vacuumed up a lot of the crap. It's going to snow here the next 3 days, so I'm not going to try to super deep clean the engine bay because that involves some outsidey kind of stuff. But I am going to rebuild my carburetor set, which should be fun. They are 2 SU carburetors. Original is the day they were born. You know, it's just some of these things, there's just no getting away from it. You just got to do it. I think the big question is, you know, I mean, like doing the timing chain, it's like I'm so close. I mean, there it is. All I have to do is pull that pulley and this cover and I can get right to the timing chain. I mean, rather than having to do this and drain everything if the timing chain fails, because I don't know if these engines are interference or non-interference, where if the timing chain breaks, if the pistons will hit the valves. If I had to guess, I bet they're interference. I don't think it's a non-interference engine. Anyway, we are gonna get there. It is interesting, by the way. The jackass also spray painted this thing black, and the little bit of cleaning I've done, the black just comes right off, and you have this sort of lovely sort of tomato red. It's almost the same red as the chronograph hands on a 6139 blue, like 6139 6000 5 or 2 or whatever, but the blue ones, the chronograph hands are this kind of tomato red, which is nice. I can't wait to get this dust and crap out of here and get this all policed up and nice. Get this, add a new water pump in there. I mean, again, it's the usual thing. I don't know that it's bad, but God, I'm in here, and it's a new water pump is like, on these, it's amazing. It's like $31 for a brand new water pump for one of these things. I can't believe how cheap they are. So, you know, might as well do it. I'm in here, might as well do it. Okay, folks, I think that's about it. And that's, I think, a good part 2. I'm going to wrap it up, go inside and have dinner. Okay, thank you.